Hello.
Hello, Lizzie.
That's it, Adrian. How are you?
I'm all right, and you? You look bright and spring-like there, and you feel. It looks like you feel different to I do. I'm freezing in my room here.
I'm so cold, guys. It is like so cold in Cape Town. I'm trying to just. I've got so many layers on. It's ridiculous. And actually, I've got a blanket on here. That's how cold I am. So.
Okay. So you're keeping warm.
Yes, for sure. You don't look cold at all, I have to say.
I've just been filming some workouts, so at least yeah, got a little bit of warmth still going.
Warm.
Yeah.
I'm
Welcome to everybody.
To find us here quickly so we can say hi to everyone. So I'm trying to find, but welcome everyone to the info session.
Yes, Fiona is here. Guys, swipe in. Let us know who is all here. Pop it into the comments. Obviously, Liz and I are here to talk about our courses to you guys, which have opened up to registration this week, and we're getting started with them next Monday. I think both of us are super excited about it. So a little Q&A for the next half an hour. Each of us will chat through our courses, let you know kind of what's in store, and then answer any of your questions. Liz, I know you're super excited about yours as well.
Frothing, as Kate would say. Yeah, no, I'm super excited about this. It's something, so it's been a little bit of a passion project for me for many years, and it's so incredible to be able to offer something like this at Jeff and this amazing platform. So what we're going to do is we're going to chat about our courses. I'll go first, and then Adrian will chat about his, and then we're going to open up for some questions afterwards. So if you've got any questions, if you want to know who would be, who this is aimed for, what age groups, please, I see there have been a couple of questions asking if young girls can do my course. If you've got questions for Adrian, please keep those for us, pop them in the comments, and we'll definitely cover them towards the end. I can see a couple of people here. Leslie's here, Celeste is here, Marty is here, and Pat, Auntie Pat's here. So we'll wait for a few more minutes. Hey, Adrian, we'll just wait a few more minutes for people to arrive.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Are you excited about yours?
I am. I've been doing bits and pieces of this, like with our Jeff Eds and like planting a few seeds and my challenges and whatnot. But it's nice to actually pull it together into one thing. So, put it all in one place so it runs together nicely. And I mean, like we know, it's ticking a new box for us, which we've often spoken about mindset and skills and behaviors, and you need to do that with a little bit of knowledge. And I think it's epic that we're going to get a chance to do this. So I'm quite excited about that.
Me too. Yeah, it's amazing. Like we're always students here. We can always learn. And we learn from each other as well, which is why the discussion groups are so amazing on these courses. It's completely different. So we're not asking you to train with us. We are asking you to flex your mental muscles and to come learn with us, and then to discuss and reflect on what you've learned. And we've also made that really nice and short and sharp with 15 minutes little bite-size portions for you to consume if you must every day, and then course notes to go through. So it's really nice because we're still on the same trend of connecting. We're still, we're learning now through connecting, and we're bringing everything together and sort of venturing off into different topics that might not have been covered before. And like Adrian's course, bringing it all together and making it easy for you to consume.
Exactly. Do you want to, Ames in the background there, bring up the little overlay that covers all the courses? It'll cover my face, which is fine, and you can listen to Liz run you through them.
Okay, guys, here are the two courses on offer. We've got the 14-day body kindness course with me, and then we've got Fuel Your Body and Mind with Adrian. What's included here, we've got the 14 days. So you've got 14 modules, one module per day, and that is brought to you in videos. So small 15-minute bite-sized chunks for you to consume. You can just pop it on and listen to it in the background while you're doing something else. So it needs to fit into your life every day. And then we've got your daily notes as well. So accompanying these videos, so they're easy to just listen to. You can also go through your course notes at the end. And then you'll have your course crew groups. So those are your little accountability groups. But for this time, we're not asking you to do anything. We're asking you to chat and to bounce and to connect off these ideas that we'll be throwing around and these concepts and just what that means to you. If you're with Adrian, you're going to be chatting about the information that you've received, and it just gives you that someone to chat to. And we've seen it be so valuable on challenges, and we're pulling that through all the way through to courses. And then at the end of your course, we'll have a live Q&A. So we'll have a question and answer, and that's going to be a whole hour with either myself or with Adrian, and you will receive your course certificate, which will be delivered to you, which is really nice. So it will give you something at the end that says you've completed the course. And guys have been asking, no, there are no tests. We're not going to test you. Thanks so much, Amy.
There's always the first question when you're in a class or something is when's our first test? What are we writing on?
Exactly.
Brought back some memories there and just a couple nervous moments, but we're not doing that. So yeah. we're making sure everyone's learning for themselves. We're not evaluating you about it. So that was super. Lots of people checking in here, which is great. Guys, there are a couple of questions as well, and we'll get to them once we run through everything, because I think a lot of what we're going to chat about for each of our courses will hopefully answer them. Yes. And give you some idea around that. So I'm going to pop out. Liz, over to you. Let's run through your course.
Awesome. Thanks, Adrian. Right, guys, we're going to pull it up on the side. It's a little bit small. Actually, I'm going to go this way. Woo! There we go. Okay, it's a little bit small for me to read, but I'm going to read it off the back of my computer here. But firstly, what I'm going to do is just run you through the different topics that we're going to be covering. And each of these topics we're going to be covering in a separate module. And each one of those modules will be given to you in a video format, 15 minutes, and then your course notes, of course. So module 1, we're going to do more than just a body, guys. I'm so excited to bring you this. Module 2 will be body shame versus body acceptance. We're going to define self-care. We're going to look at what that is, because if I tell you what do you do for self-care, you're probably going to tell me you paint your nails or you do your hair. We're going to dig right into what self-care is and define it properly so that you know whether you are doing it or not. Are you actually taking good care of yourself? We're going to chat about that ideal body dilemma. We're going to chat about that body that's so ideal that we just can never reach, and we know we're going to be happy when we reach that ideal body. We're going to chat all about that in module 4. And module 5, we're going to chat about self-love and also self-talk, the way we speak to ourselves, our inner critic, and we're going to look at how we can change that dialogue. We're going to look at self-care tools. Guys, those are so important. I know it sounds like so much work, but I will be explaining to you how we are reinforcing body cruelty every day, and how little bits every day can help you really build your positive body image, and also help you speak kindly to yourself with those self-care tools. We are going to chat about how much of a thief comparison is of joy. It will really steal your joy, and how we are actually programmed to compare ourselves constantly, and how that's robbing us of a lot of our joy. We're going to talk about curating your media environment, guys. That is probably one of the most important things coming out of this course, will be how to curate what you expose yourself, and how to challenge the messaging that you are that you're actually consuming, and then just really reinforcing that body cruelty image that we have towards ourselves. So screening your screen time is module 8, and module 9 is going to bring you our identity postpartum. So this course can be done by men as well. This is one of the modules that we're going into that is focused on women. But I tell you what, it's not going to do you any harm as a man to learn what women go through when they go through pregnancy, and how we have to really work hard at getting our identity back to a positive one postpartum. We're We're going to talk about your tribe, which is something at Jeff that we have no shortage of, how we as women are programmed to be divided and how we can come together and be united, which is so incredible, because if you're not someone who reaches out to other women, who competes with other women, this is a very important module for you to listen to. We're also going to talk about health and fitness as part of self-care, and how we can use it as self-care, and we can actually also use it as self-harm. So how are we navigating this space with Jeff, with everything else in the health and fitness space, where we are we're really sort of channeling it towards self-care rather than self-harm. That's module 11. Module 12, we're going to talk about how can we accept, appreciate, and respect our bodies. Guys, it's a hard one, and I'm not going to give you the key to do that in one module, but I'm going to have you challenge the way you think about accepting, appreciating, accepting, appreciating, and respecting your body. Then we are going to chat again, same that we chatted in module 1. We're going to go back to it in module 13 a little bit deeper, into separating your worth away from your physical appearance, which is absolute key. There's so much disappointment when we look at how we value our worth based on our appearances, how we've been taught that our body is good only when it looks good, and how we are good only if we look good, how we've been programmed to associate someone who is thin with an ideal body as successful, and how we really come down hard on those who are overweight, and we judge ourselves based on these. So how do we separate our worth as completely separate from our physical body, and also from our age? We can't stop the clock. It's going to keep ticking, and eventually if we lose our looks, or we're unable to maintain that ideal body, what's left after that we can find worth in? We're going to talk about the body image resilience, which is module 14, which is probably the most important sort of thing I will leave you with. How do we build body image resilience? How do we curate our media environment? How do we speak kindly to ourselves? How do we implement tools to build our body image? And how do we do that every single day? How do we practice that? And how do we not make that work? That is how we are going to address building body image resilience. And then after that, we're going to go into a question and answer session, which is going to be a full hour. Now, guys, just before I hand back to Adrian, I just want to touch on why this is so important. When we're in a health and fitness environment and we are pursuing our physical goals, as a coach, I see this very often. It's really hard for men and women to often see progress, even when it's staring them right in the face, even when it's so blatantly obvious, both visually and on the scale. It's really hard to see progress and to speak kindly to themselves. And unfortunately, we think that if we only work on our bodies, we are going to fix that. So it's that idea of, when I look like this, I will be happy. When I look like this, I will be successful. And what's wrong with that is that we are going to age. We're not going to be able to maintain our bodies forever. We are focusing on the wrong thing. Being happy with your body is amazing, and we need to be working towards that. Loving the way your body looks is amazing, but we can't only love our bodies when they are at ideal body weight. We can't only love ourselves when we have makeup on. We need to find worth beyond that. And it's such an important sort of add-on to your health journey. It's particularly important when we look at the youth. So we had a question about whether teenagers could do this course. The answer is absolutely yes. If you're a mother and you have teenagers, if you're a mother and you have young children, this is for you. We have to reprogram how our children value themselves and how they value others, and we've got to separate that from the physical. And a lot of what's happening in the world right now with media and with the messaging is geared towards making us feel like we always need fixing. It's making us feel that we just, we have to constantly improve, and we're never enough. And what we need to do is change the dialogue, change the way, move away from constantly talking about appearance, constantly commenting about appearance. We need to move away from that. We need to build body resilience in our children from a very young age. And then we need to build body kindness ourselves, because we've already grown up, and we need to build on it now so that we don't find incredible disappointment later on, even if we hit ideal body weight. Okay, so guys, if this is something that you feel that you struggle with, I chat with clients often and they go, oh my gosh, that's me. Oh my gosh, I'm constantly comparing myself. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at media constantly, looking at Fitspiration, and just constantly telling myself, I'll never get there. I'll never get there. Or, wow, she's so beautiful. I want to be like her. Or I want a body like her. Or, all of these things. Often when I speak to women, when they come for an initial consultation, they want to be the weight that they were at when they were getting married. And men often want to be the weight that they were when they were in high school. But we don't look at our priorities when we were shredding for the wedding. We don't look at our priorities and how they shifted from when we were playing sports every day at school and running a business, or being a full-time parent and full-time working full-time. So we need to often just separate this desire to be fixated, and we're not even aware of it most of the time, fixated on appearance meaning success. So guys, that's it in a nutshell. I hope you will join me. I'm going to give over to Coach Adrian, and then we'll come back for some questions at the end.
That was amazing, Lizzie. I think it sounds like such a good course, and just some of the comments that came in about how important it is to look at these other aspects. And what you mentioned there, we're always worried about how we look in a picture, or what the number on the scale says, or we put various kind of outcomes in it, but we never kind of internalize the process of this. And I think this will help so much for anyone in that space, which is magic. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it goes.
Thanks, Adrian. I'm going to hand over to you now for your course.
Thank you kindly. Cool. So obviously mine is all about nutrition. And we've got 14 days together talking about what happens with food and why it's important and what we kind of want to dig into. So why I've kind of put it together is, like I said in the intro here a little earlier, we've touched on little bits and pieces through Jeff Eds, and you can go find a couple of them in my challenges if you've done them. We've focused on things, but we've never really put it concisely together into something that flows together, because I want someone to come out the other end of these 2 weeks, which isn't a long time. We're planting little bits of nuggets, little seeds that you guys can hopefully water from here on out. Wherever you go, it's going to set you up in better stead if you carrying on Jeff Life, or you go to a challenge, or you go into one-on-one. Having these founding principles is just going to make your progress that much more sustainable and achievable, because you're going to understand why. Quite often you get a nutrition plan, or you listen to me babbling on about something, but it doesn't make sense because you don't understand it in the bigger picture perhaps. So this is the start of drawing your bigger picture, and that's what I want to kind of do through this. So what we've got is 14 days. I'll run you through the modules that we've got here, because it is a little bit small, but I've zoomed in, so I think I can get it there. We're starting with the basics up front. Busy filming these at the moment, and it's really just got me thinking more about how we create these and how we want to build each block on top of the other. And module 1, we start off simply by looking in what is food, what is nutrition, and what are diets. Because at the heart of everything that comes from there, we're talking about food for 14 days. We're talking about nutrition. We're talking about diets. What does that all mean? And from there, we can kind of go from that. So understanding first the definitions about it. We're going to look at what happens to food in our body. Do you guys actually know? So whatever you're consuming, do you know where it goes? What your body uses it for? Why one thing's maybe a little bit more important than the other? Or when we start getting to the importance of the plans and the menus that you might see from us, and why they're actually designed in the way that they do. There's an outcome that we're looking to achieve. We then go into looking at the most important thing for weight management, weight change, is energy balance. Foods in, energy out, what it all means, and how everyone's a little bit different in that space as well. Then we look into our 3 macronutrients after that, starting off with protein, the building blocks of everything, why it's at the heart of a lot a lot of what we do, what it means, how you can get there, and maybe evaluating your own intake of it. We then look at fat, the myths around it. I've called module 5, does fat make me fat? One of those things, does it make me lean even? Because that's what a lot more popular media says these days. So what's it all about? Then, if it's not fat that makes me fat, module 6 says it's the carbs, right? Is it? What is there to believe? So what you'll find kind of as we get halfway through this course is part of what I want to do is cut through the noise that's out there. You go read a magazine, you go read a article, you talk to your neighbor, your best friend, whatever it is. There's so many conflicting bits and pieces there. I kind of just want to cut through that and give a few little pieces, simplify it so that you've got something a little bit easier to understand and work out what's going to be best for you, because everyone's a little bit different. All right, then we're going to look at energy density and nutrient density. And this is a very valuable way of evaluating your food without counting calories and worrying about all sorts of different things. If we understand a little bit about this, and we're actually developing some cool tools behind this as well, to look into things like, what's happening in my plates, the portions that I'm eating against the volume, what does it mean inside? Why is it not keeping me full? Why am I not reaching health outcomes? And a lot of it can come down to those two concepts of energy density and nutrient density. So we'll dig into that module 7 and 8. Then module 9 is about hunger and satiety, why we eat, what drives us to eat. I've done little bits and pieces on this, but I think it's so critical. Listening to your body cues. What does hunger mean? What is satiety? How do I know if I'm full? How do I know if I should be eating? Because a lot of these signals we get, we override through behavior. And we're going to dig into that in module 9. Module 10 is fluids and thirst. So we move from hunger into what we're drinking. And often a stumbling block for many of us is fluids. We don't actually appreciate its importance. And it can also be a stumbling block because it's high in calories or alcohol, or what's this doing to my body and my health. As long as you guys know, you can make an informed decision around it. Then 11, we're going into exercise nutrition. So hopefully we're all training. You don't have to be exercising to do this, but obviously we hope that you are. If you're on a challenge, if you're on a one-on-one, if you're on Jeff Life and you're following a bit of a plan there, or if you're doing something that's a little bit different, that's cool. How should you be eating around your exercise? Do you need to be doing anything different? Is normal day-to-day okay? Or are there some things that you maybe just need to think about, particularly if you're starting to train, you're new to training, or your training starting to level up? Module 12, we're going to touch on supplements. We focus on food the whole way through here, and then an introduction to supplements, why it can be important. Should we be using them every day, every now and then? What's it all about? Are they useful ones? Am I wasting my money? All the things that you guys want to know and you always ask about. Module 12, we're going to touch on supplements. Module 13, we're going to go through which diet is best. And it brings it all the way back around to module 1, essentially, talking about diets, and everyone wants to know, well, which one should I be doing? Which one's for me? Which one actually works? And we're going to touch on that. And then wrap it up with how much should I eat? At the end of the day, you'll have all the tools and things in place, the understanding, the knowledge, but you're only going to be successful if you know how much to eat. And that's what we want to kind of bring it together with at the end. I think there was a question on that a little earlier as well that I'll get back to now. And like Liz says, we then will wrap up with an hour of chat, a little bit of Q&A with all your questions, apart from obviously the interaction we've got together every day, but bringing together what you've learned, what you want to work on, maybe where you want to take this next, what's in store, and we'll go from there. All right. So that is my 14-day course in a nutshell. Liz can pop back in and we'll get through any questions that came through. I think I see she was answering a few as we went, which is beautiful. Liz, did you pick up anything there that jumped in?
Yes, I did. For you, Adrian, there was a question around constipation. I'm going to scroll a little bit back up.
Sharon,
and
cool.
Why an impact. So I need help with constipation, and why and what impact of that is on your weight loss and overall health. So Sharon's asking whether that topic will be covered as well.
So it'll come up actually a couple times. One in our energy balance, because one of the risks of being in an energy deficit for too long would be that, and I'll talk to that a little bit. And then naturally, well, actually come up a few times when we're talking about nutrient density, fiber is going to come up there. And then when I'm talking about fluids, obviously that's at the heart of it as well. So gut function will come up throughout it in different pieces because we know how important it is. So hopefully there are little tidbits there that'll help you, and I think importantly, self-evaluate what's going on. There'll be something that I say, obviously everyone's going to be slightly different in their nutrition journey, but you'll be able to think, well, maybe that applies to me. Yeah, let me try something. And I think that's what it's going to be about.
Sounds like an amazing course, Adrian. That's definitely something I will be doing. Guys, and that's amazing. Like, you can always learn more, and it's just so well laid out. There was a question whether you can do both. Yes, you can. And as for who can do the courses, anyone on Jeff Life can do the courses, whether you're on a challenge, whether you're on the one-on-one, absolutely anyone within the Jeff community who is part of Jeff Life can do the courses, and you can do more than one at the same time. It will definitely not interfere with each other, and that will take you half an hour a day to watch both. And then there was a question from Jenny as well, just asking, again, do they need to be Jeff Life members to subscribe? Yes, they do need to be Jeff Life members.
And Christina signed up. How will we get notified with the details? You'll get an email up front just telling you what's happening. Then you'll join our private Facebook group, either for Liz or my challenge, or both, if you're doing both of them. And then from Monday next week, everything's going to appear there, and in your app you'll get your coursework and the videos and all of that. So Christina, just let one of us know if you didn't get an email with some details. Where to next?
And then there's also a question around, will we be able to keep our course material? Yes, you will. Like Zita has just commented on there, we will keep the Facebook group open, so you can go back and watch the videos as well. So they will not be closed off like the challenges. And that was the question there. What about emotional eating in situations where people eat if they experience different challenges? How to prevent that? So Adrian, you don't cover emotional eating at all.
Oh, sorry, no, I don't. We talk a little bit about why we eat, particularly in the hunger and satiety bit, but not digging so much into it. Comes up. It's a very important part of that aspect, but it's not a sort of a topic on its own. I've tied it into that drive to eat module that we've got. Yeah.
Okay. And Alfred, just from my side, we don't go into emotional eating on my course. We go more into body image and body kindness, body positivity from an emotional point of view. And that would be probably for a course material for the next course, into emotional eating and habit change. But this one particularly is more into body image and into how we evaluate ourselves separate from our appearances.
Yeah. Claire wants to know, is there additional time over and above the 15 minutes each? So the videos we're just keeping into 15 minutes of pure nuggets of gold. But then off that as well, you're going to get course notes. You're going to get little things that we kind of want you to do and reflect on and do in your own time. And then amongst your WhatsApp crew, you guys can chat about things and kind of play them off each other. In our Facebook groups, Liz and I will obviously be in and out of those, interacting with you guys, posing questions, thinking about things, getting you guys involved so that you kind of take it by the horns, and everything that we're trying to get going is there. So it's just the videos that we're trying to keep to 15 minutes so that you guys can get on with your day and do everything else.
That's right. I'm just reading here. Yes, there's a lot of questions about keeping the course material. Yes, you will be able to keep the course material, and yes, you will definitely have access to the videos. So they will not be limited to a certain time frame. Just touching also on additional time needed for my course. We will be doing reflections and discussions in your groups. I have had questions around whether you need to be active on a group. I know there are some people who if they join a course like mine, they're not going to want to be too engaging on a group. Guys, nothing of this will be forced on you if you don't feel like engaging with your group. It's an absolute add-on and a value add. You will also have, access to engaging with us on the Facebook group if you need to. But I know for some people it might be a very personal journey, and just for those reasons, we have those self-care tools that we will be chatting about, and that you will be able to use and reflect on, and little activities that you'll be able to do on your own if you're not someone who reaches out in a group. I know that there are quite a few of you.
Magic. Loads of excitement around that. Yana has even signed up for them both. Yana,
yay! Amazing, Yana. So cool. And just real quickly, I know you feel the same, Adrian, but we have the most amazing team behind the courses, and it's so amazing to have a company like Jeff, who goes far, like over and beyond always, to offer more, and we hope that these are going to be a great success, so that we can keep offering you these amazing courses that fit into your life and that cover topics that you really want to learn more about.
Exactly. And that's a quick shout out. I'm sure a lot of them are watching now as well. And so we're at the front of it just because you get to see us, but there's so many hard working ants behind us that put it all together. And really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a success. We've still got space on both courses. So it was great, bring some people in on it. If you want to learn some things together, get a crew together, join Liz's. You can go through that sort of positiveness together, which is nice. It's always great experiencing something with someone else. And if you want to do both as well, obviously you can sign up to both. So if you have any more questions, guys, please feel free to reach out to either of us. We'll be around. You know where to find us. And if you're on the fence, get off it. Just come join us. Let's learn. Like Liz said, it's all to learn.
The sign-ups close tomorrow at 5, guys. So don't sit on the fence for too long. Don't miss out on this. We are starting on Monday, which means we have to close our registrations by tomorrow, 5 p.m. So please don't wait. Come and join us. I would promise you won't be disappointed. And like Adrian said, grab a couple of people, do this together. It's so meaningful. The connection that we learn through these courses, we can also connect through them. So please come and join us.
Lovely. Liz, thanks so much. Sarah wants to know, will you be running these courses again? We'll have to see. Do it this time, Sarah. Don't wait. Get it done, and we'll have to see.
True. We'll have to see, but we've got so many interesting topics to do our courses on that we don't know. Like right at this stage, I would say if this interests you, hop on board. You will not be disappointed. Come on, guys. Tomorrow registration closes at 5.
Lovely. Liz, thanks so much. Everybody, thank you who's tuned in here. Like I said, feel free to pop either of us a message if you've got any more questions about what we went through today. And hopefully by tomorrow, we've got everyone on board and we're ready to go from next Monday, ready to learn some more.
Fantastic. Thanks, Adrian. Guys, we will see you on Monday. Thanks, everyone.
Super. Cheers, guys.